Hello, this is Ed Burke with PlaceForTraders.com for Tuesday, May 12th, starting off in the June Mini S&P. In my last video, I talked about the pivot level for Monday of 918.5. Above 918.5 in the June Mini S&P is considered bullish. Below 918.5 is considered bearish. I had the first line of support down at 909.75. The second line of support down at 894. Now these are 15-minute bars. This is going all the way back to Sunday evening. You could see that the market chopped on both sides of this pivot line. This thick black line is the pivot level, 918.5. You could see that it looked like it was serving as some support. Then we went down below the pivot level and it was serving as a resistance. Once again, we broke back over the pivot level and it was serving as support. It wasn't until 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time that we broke through the pivot level and the market stayed under the pivot level for the remainder. Right here is where the regular trading session opened. We opened below the pivot level but above the first line of support. Now, within the first half hour, a very volatile open. You could see that within the first half hour, we went down to a low of 905.75, which actually turned out to be the low of the day. We had a bounce in price. When the market was trading around in this range, I sent messages out to people that were below the pivot level to short the market. I, however, picked a target of 898. I didn't think the market would be so bearish to go all the way down to the second level of support down at 894. I picked 898. That was actually the low of last Thursday. You could see, though, that after that volatile open, the market didn't do much of anything. It was a very sideways day. We had this little rally, but we stayed above the pivot level. Then we had another little sell-off. The market went down actually to the first level of support, which served as a nice support, and then the market bounced once again. But going into the close, we actually did have another sell-off. The market broke below the first line of support. This was the last trade of the day, and they settled the market just below the first level of support at 909 even. Like I said, after that open, we had just a very sideways, choppy day on Monday. It was actually an inside day, meaning Monday's range was contained inside Friday's range. For Tuesday, I'm looking at the pivot level of 913.25. Market settled at 909 even. Above 913.25 is bullish. Below 913.25 is bearish. I have the first line of resistance at 919.5. The second line of resistance up there at 930 even. For support, I have the first line of support at 902.75. The second line of support at 895.75. I also have the weekly numbers here. Weekly pivot 910.75. So you can see we settled at 909 even. We're below the weekly pivot, so we're actually bearish from the settlement on a weekly time frame also. I have the first level of weekly resistance up at 945. The second line of weekly resistance way up there at 964.25. For support, I have the first line of weekly support 891.5. The second line of weekly support at 857.25. Also, I just wanted to mention that first line of monthly resistance. Last week we were above the first line of monthly resistance, 912.5. This settle at 909 even is below that first line of monthly resistance also. I wanted to put that in there because it converges pretty closely with some of these other numbers. The tomorrow's daily pivot at 913.25, that weekly pivot 910.75, and also the first line of monthly resistance 912.5. Also, you might want to take note of that first line of weekly support at 891.5 converges pretty close with tomorrow's second line of support at 895.75. I got one number coming out, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Trade balance number comes out. The expectation is for a negative $29.5 billion. That's all I have for this evening. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't gone to my website as of yet, it's PlaceForTraders.com. You can go on there and sign up for the free alerts. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and good trading.